Oh, sorry. I'm not. You're not gonna be on camera. Oh, yeah. So I was just coming in to tell you guys real quick that I found something real interesting in the text. I found something real interesting in the text that kind of blows my mind. So it's on here. Or what am I talking about? I was on here looking at a guy named Michael Heiser, and we've been watching Michael Heiser for the past couple days. So I thought to myself, let me see what else that he's dealing with, because he deals with a specific topic. A lot of times he goes over, the mysteries of the Bible. So I come across his interpretation of Ezekiel 38 and 39. And of course, this is the Gog and Magog prophecy that we've been talking about on the channel. We just put out the video, American Jew 4, Mystery of Magog, which kind of wraps things up in a nice little package for people to see the identification of Gog and Magog in the future world. So, listening to him and listening to his interpretation, of course, he's kind of away from the identification of Magog as the Europeans, more than likely because he himself is a European, and it would be difficult to identify yourself as the enemy in the ancient world. But regardless of his motives, why, he's clearly not naming the places that are clearly associated in history with with all that aside, though, he mentions one thing that piqued my interest, and it was a list of names of people who were with Gog and Magog, replaced the name of a son of Japheth. Instead of a different nation, they had Meshach there again. And so I thought, that's a pretty big change in distinguishing another nation that's not necessarily associated with these particular lines, naming that nation instead of the nation that should have been named, which is Meshach, right? Or this person who should have been named, that is Meshach. And so I thought to myself, okay, that's wild that, oh man, that's wild that I got a couple flies in here, and I don't know how. It's probably from that window being open. But I thought it was wild that they replaced such a huge differentiation, that there was made this, this replacement. Do you see what I'm saying? Anytime you see a replacement in the text, you want to start paying close attention, because it was replaced for a reason. They didn't replace it for nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, and so he said, because I know I'm sounding weird because I'm just saying, out of nowhere. So I'm thinking of things I'm supposed to be talking about. So the difference is, and I don't know if I've said this, the difference is that in the KJV, the Masoretic text that we have, it has one rendition which has a nation there, and I can't remember the exact nation. And in the Septuagint, it has Meshach. And so that's a huge difference. And so I decide to go to the Septuagint to see if there's anything else that's there that might, not be something that maybe something that I missed in the video. And sure enough, almost right away, we see this. And I'm not going to be on here too long. Shalom, shalom, Mishpachah. And so let me show you guys what I found, right? And so if you're just now coming on, I'm looking in the LXX here for anything I missed on this Gog Magog prophecy from, the video that we just put out. And so I'll just show you guys real quick something that is so fascinating to me. And so you can see we're in, they call it Jezekiel in the LXX. And the word of Yahweh came to me saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, Rus, prince of Meshach, and it says Mesok. And so I want you guys to look at that Mesok. That is Moscow. That is the ancient name for Moscow. So right away pointing towards Russia. It says, Misok and Thobel, and prophesy against him. And so let's skip down. It says, Persians and Ethiopians and Libyans, all with helmets and shields, Gomer and all belonging to him, the house of Thor Gama. So this is who we call Togamo. That's how I pronounce it. And that must be just an awful pronunciation because the LXX is calling him Thor Gama. But do you see this? Do you see that? Thor. Now, is that a coincidence that you have the Norsemen, that their ancient ancestor is named Thor? And we all know that Thor is a person that these people worshipped. You guys have heard of ancestor worship before. This is the ancestor, Thor, found in the biblical chronicle in Ezekiel. And you'll find him again in Genesis 10 as a son of Japhet, Togamo, or they say Togama. I've heard it Togamo, Togama, but I've never seen it like this. I've never thought to look at the Hebrew. It must be with a thou in the front. And so it's Thor Gama. That's how you pronounce it. Thor Gama. Shortened is Thor, the god of thunder, the one that they make the movies about. This is ancient ancestor worship in the Norse people, in the people of Magog, Gog and Magog, found in the far north, that are associated with the Vikings, the Germanic tribes, the same people that worship this person, Thor. It is their ancient ancestor, grandson of Noah. Thor in the table of nations. Can you imagine? I mean, mind-blowing, you guys. Mind-blowing stuff right here. So this is what I wanted to come on and say. People talk about comparative mythology, right? That's what they call it, comparative mythology, where you take the religions in different parts of the world and compare them. You guys know that the flood mythology, they call it mythology, but the flood story is told in like 180 different nations, like in every nation on the planet. So we know that that's a true story. So it's more than just the flood story that bleeds in from religion to religion. So where you can see that people who we all thought to be mythological characters are some of them real life people. And here finding Thor's name in the Bible shows that exact point. All right, you guys. So it was a short one. I don't know who this is on. I wanted to try to look at the comments. Shalom, shalom, brother or sister, whoever that is that's on here. But I wanted to just really quickly get this out there and then also get it recorded, because I will be putting this in a future video, you know, in a similar fashion to what was just released yesterday. Okay, you guys, shalom, shalom.